Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
If you've never been to the Redwood Forest, then this video is for you. If you have and you're familiar with it, this video probably has nothing for you. But we had never been here.
No.
And in looking at and planning for the trip, when I hear of a national park, I think of an entrance, a fee area. You go in and you explore. And some of them are massive. I mean, Yellowstone is huge. There are a lot.
Yosemite was
pretty big. There are a lot of these parks that are really large, and yet they have sometimes 2 or 3 fee stations, 5 fee stations, and you enter the park and there you are. Well, that's what I was expecting with Redwoods, and it's a little bit unique in that it is Redwoods State and National Park. And that we were coming from the south and driving north. And as you'll notice when you're driving north on 101, which is sometimes called the Pacific Coast Highway or the Redwood Highway, you are constantly driving in and out of the Redwood Forest.
Yes.
And we'll also go on and tell you that that road is constantly changing from 4 lanes to 2 lanes. And in May of 2022,
1 lane?
sometimes 1 lane. You've got traffic lights and it allows traffic going. We didn't have to wait long for those. Those were just kind of interesting and fun. But if you're here at peak season and you're waiting an hour, that might not be fun. But you're constantly going in and out of the National Forest. There also are a couple of places where you can take a scenic bypass. So maybe the 101 is going out of the forest and you can take a scenic bypass, which is going to be a smaller road. It's going to be 2 lane. The maximum speed is going to be 45 miles an hour. And there are going to be tons of pull-offs. We pulled off at, and trailheads. We pulled off at one, and the reason we pulled off at the one we pulled off was because it was large enough for us to park the van and RV. And I was able to walk into what was just like a rainforest. All the little ferns and plants. And this is one of those things where you just don't, driving down the road, you don't get the feel of how massive these trees are until you are one-on-one with them.
Yes.
But there are various regions of Redwood National Forest. National and State Park is what it's called. And there are several visitor centers. And each of those visitor centers, from what we understand, have their own region, and they'll have their own regional information. And I really think you could take as long or as short as you wanted to explore this. But there are the campgrounds in the Redwood State and National Park are run by California State Parks. And you must have a reservation to stay at one of the campgrounds in the Redwood State and National Park. And
they don't accept same-day reservations. So there may be campsites that are empty, but you can't reserve them same day.
And so we're going to show you the phone number if you want to call and get more information. But understand that this is a massive area, and I kind of like what they've done in that they're preserving as much of it as possible, and yet letting people keep their homes and businesses that are on the 101 without just taking in everything that doesn't have any redwoods. And so while you're driving down the 101, when it becomes 2 lanes, there are times, I mean, you just got these massive trees on both sides of the road. And then you come back out and it's a highway again. But this was something we just weren't expecting.
And it is a coastal highway. It part of the time you're in the Redwoods, and part of the time you look out your window and there's the Pacific.
It is, yeah, it's called the Pacific Coast Highway. It's called the Redwood Highway. And it has been, it is. It's just fascinating. And I strongly encourage you to take one of the scenic bypasses if you have, if you have time, because that's where you really feel like you're getting lost in the forest.
Yes.
Now, there are a number of campgrounds, and I'm going to show you all of those that are inside of the Redwood State and National Park have fairly strict links on RVs, etc.
And they are short.
They are very short sites. And once again, if you have a longer trailer, you may not be able to fit. However, you can come over to the Six River National Forest, and there are a number of National Forest campgrounds.
It's a national recreation area.
It's a national recreation area. And I asked the employee who was at one of the visitor centers for the State and National Park, but I believe he's a California State employee based on the logo on his shirt.
Yes.
And he said there's dispersed camping out here as well. They may be more established sites. We don't know. All I knew was once I had gone off and gone on one of the paths, I felt like I was in a rainforest. And I thought, if the ground is this saturated, I don't want to take a chance on dispersed being out and not having a camping pad. So I asked if these were reservation sites, and he said he knew for sure that these are National Forest campsites, and these do not require reservations. As of May of 2022, they did not require reservations. They were first come, first serve. And there's a little kiosk up there where you get the envelope and you pay your fee, etc. But there are several of those out here on Highway 199. And this is a gorgeous area. The little highway is following a river, and the river's right here. We can hear it.
The river's like teal
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. But if you've never been to the Redwoods, I gotta tell you, it's gorgeous. And not only, we've told you about the national and state parks and national forests. There are RV campgrounds everywhere. All along the way. How busy? I'm sure that those become a little bit more busy in the summer months. According to the information we saw, the temperature in this area is pretty consistent. I mean, the highs from January through December fluctuate maybe 5 to 10 degrees. You're going to be in the upper 50s to mid 60s, and lows are going to be in the 40s probably. That's average. You can't guarantee that's what you're going to have, but the temperature is going to be pretty moderate, so what it looks like. And we'll tell you this National Forest campground that we are in Panther Flat. We just took the first one, and we found a spot, and we love it. They do have flush toilets. They do have potable water.
Yes.
And so there are a couple of motorhomes here. There was a large fifth wheel that was able to get in a campsite here. It's certainly not full right now, but
it's not really built for large.
This one says that the links are long. I think this is the one that has the longest links. Look at that little picture I put in there for you. But if you're unfamiliar with the Redwoods and you're expecting a destination like Sequoia National Forest,
yes,
that's not what this is. And that's what we were expecting. We've just been to Sequoia National Forest, so we were expecting to come
Yosemite.
Into a national forest destination like that, national park. And I'm not disappointed at all. I just didn't know. And so that's what this video has been about. And if you're planning a trip here, we hope you have as good a time as we are. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.